Hi, it's Susan from SnapEd and the Opportunity Alliance. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making chocolate chip banana baked oatmeal. So I've already got all of my ingredients pulled out and most of them are measured out. So let's get started. First instruction is to preheat the oven to 375 degrees. And I've already done that. It actually just beeped at me. Okay, so all we're going to do is we're going to add all the ingredients to the bowl, mix it up, and put it in the oven to bake. So it's pretty easy. It shouldn't take a lot of time. Okay, first ingredient. It asks for 2 cups of old-fashioned oats. So I only have quick oats. You can use any kind of oat that you have on hand. You don't really have to be that picky with it. So I'm going to measure out 2 cups. This is actually a half a cup. So it's 1 cup. 1.5. Okay. So I've got my oats. Next is 1/4 of a cup of honey. I actually don't have honey on hand, excuse me, so I'm going to use some maple syrup. So sometimes when we make recipes, we don't have everything on hand, especially in these times, so we just kind of improvise. So I'm going to measure out 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup. So maple syrup and honey are usually sugar substitutes, so you could always use some sugar, some stevia, or whatever you have on hand. Okay, so we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So I've got my baking powder. Okay. Next is a pinch of sea salt. I personally am not going to measure out a pinch of sea salt, so mine already has like a shaker on the top. So I'm just going to do a quick shake. Okay. 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk. So again, coconut milk and almond milk are dairy alternatives, so for those of us that are lactose intolerant. So if you have regular dairy or cow's milk on hand, that's totally fine to use. I'm going to use almond milk because that's what I have on hand. So I'll measure out 1.5 cups. That's 1.5 cups. Okay. So we've got my almond milk. Okay. So next is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So I've got my vanilla. I've got 1. I've got 2. Awesome. All right, so now I need 2 bananas. And it asks us to slice them, so move the bowl. All right, so I've got my bananas. Oops. I almost knocked over my walnuts. That's okay. So I've actually made this recipe before using strawberries as well, which is also really good. So this recipe is pretty flexible. You could use any kind of fruit that you'd want to. Okay. All right, so we've got the bananas. Now this is 1/2 cup of walnuts or pecans that are chopped. So I've already measured out 1/2 cup of walnuts, so now I'm going to just chop them. You can buy them already chopped. I usually just chop them myself, just to the desired texture that you like. You could also use, if you didn't have walnuts or pecans, you could also use almonds or any kind of nut. You could even try some seeds in there, sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds. All right, add those. All right, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil melted. So I've got that right here. I'm gonna add that in right now. So coconut oil in this case is a butter substitute. I personally don't have butter on hand. I did have coconut oil, but if you didn't have coconut oil and you had butter, you can go ahead and just melt some butter in place of the coconut oil. All right. And then it asks for 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. All right. So now I'm going to mix it all together, and then I'm going to put it in the pan and bake it for about 45 to 50 minutes or until the top is brown. So depending on how fast your oven cooks will depend on how long it takes. Personally, my oven is usually done in like a half hour, so 30 minutes, but you can just keep watch of it. It's pretty simple. This is what the batter looks like. All right. I'm going to dump it in my prepared baking pan. So I've already sprayed it with non-stick cooking spray ahead of time, just lightly. All right, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go put it in the oven and I'll show you the final result.